Give me both teams to score in the first period. That's coming in at plus 185 compared to the over 1.5 that is at minus 120. Okay, you guys ready? Let's make some freaking money. It's time for Pocket with Jo. Hey guys, happy Monday. Happy November 4th. Jo here of SportsGrid. It's time for Pocket with Jo over here on SportsGrid TV on X. The ice is going to be pretty quiet tonight. 2 games out there on the ice, but of course we're going to go over picks, props, and predictions in both of these games out there like we do every single day. We are live here noon Eastern on the grid. So let's make some freaking money today, you guys. Let's jump right into them. Big shout out to everyone that is watching. If you guys could like, retweet, send in those comments, greatly appreciate it. We'll start with the LA Kings taking on the Nashville Predators. Now, the Preds have been playing better at home. They've won 3 of their last 4 home games. They're coming in as a minus 140 favorite. The LA Kings this season has started off with so many road games out there for them. They really have been living out of their suitcases. We know they started the season with 7 games on the road. Back on the road tonight. Plus 116 on the money line, still without Drew Doughty, who's going to be out of this lineup for quite a while. He did wreck his ankle in preseason. So they're at plus 116. Offensively, this team has been clicking. Total 6.5. The 6.5 is actually juiced to the under, and we might have a couple low-scoring battles between these two teams tonight, as well as between all of these teams tonight. I could see, though, if either game is going to go over, it would be this one, because I just really don't trust the defense here of the Nashville Predators. Saros in goal. He's got a 3-5-1 record with a 2.92 goals against average. That save percentage sitting right on 900. But the Preds defensively, their numbers kind of skewed because of how many goals they let in to start, but I still don't trust them defensively, allowing that 4.5 goals per game. They've got a really strong face-off, so they should be able to control the puck out there and lead this game. Their power play converting at 23.1%. Because of that power play conversion against a kill of here, the PK coming in at 77% for the Kings. I do think those power play opportunities could convert here for the Kings, or for the Preds. Now for the Kings, their power play is only clicking at 16.7%, and the kill is phenomenally strong here for the Preds. So I don't see the Kings converting on the power play. I do think the Preds will be able to. First night of a back-to-back here for the Kings, in 2 hard road games. They face here the Preds and then the Wild on deck tomorrow. We know how strong the Wild have been rolling, with Kaprizov really lighting things up. That team has been scoring goals in bunches. So the Kings are looking to this game and to that game. Which game do they have the best possibility of winning? It would have to be this game for me. So I do think we get the best out of them in this matchup tonight. That being said, this team sitting second in the Pacific, I think it's just going to be too much. I think the home ice advantage here for the Preds is the right way to go. Now, the Preds have won 7 of the last 10 meetings over the LA Kings. They've also won 3 of the last 4, and the home team has won the last 4 matchups. So the last time we saw these teams play in LA, the Kings were able to get that win to be that one of the 4 that we did see. Now, the Kings, the problem with the Kings is they struggled to play a full 60-minute game. We saw them in that last game versus the Chicago Blackhawks. They were up by a couple goals. They allowed Chicago to get back into that game, kind of like what the Eagles did yesterday. The only difference is the Eagles were able to shut down the Jags at the end of the game, and the Kings in that last game yesterday, or the Kings in their last game versus Chicago Blackhawks, they weren't able to. This game versus Chicago went to a shootout, and Chicago was able to get the win there. So there's something about that momentum that Chicago was able to build against the LA Kings, and the lack of fight for the end of that game for the Kings that I just did not love. They struggle, right? They struggle. They start off strong, and then something always happens. We see that in the playoffs every year with them too. They start off so strong in either the first or second period, and the third period, they shoot themselves in the foot. This team, I don't know if they need more stamina or what it is out there, but something needs to change. So Happy Monday, Joe and Jace. Thank you so much. You're thinking Edmonton with the upset tonight. Edmonton on the second night of a back-to-back. Your morning cup of Joe will be loading us shortly. We definitely will be talking everything in that one. And you like the first period, 8-2 in the series. First period over. Yeah, the over 1.5 in the first period before things slow down could be a good way to look in that one. So when I look here at the Predators, I'm going to do a couple things, and we're just going to build a quick parlay here, you guys, because I can't remember what those odds were when I put it in. I'm going to look at Forsberg here. I do think Forsberg can get net a goal tonight. He's coming in at plus 130, and I think Ryan O'Reilly as well at plus 260. Those players both play for the Predators. I think between the two of them, we will see one of them light the lamp tonight. So I'm going to look at points. When we look at a couple of things with the power play, Forsberg has been able to get 2 goals and 2 assists on the power play. Like I said, I think the power play will convert tonight for the Nashville Predators. I'm also thinking because of the amount of time Yossi spends and Ryan O'Reilly spend on that power play on those lines, that we'll see points out of them tonight. I want to see if those power play points are up. Yeah, and they are. Okay, so we can take Forsberg for the power play point tonight. That's coming in at plus 155. Ryan O'Reilly at plus 210. And Roman Josi is coming in at plus 210 as well. So they won't let us parlay those props, but I do like those power plays for all three of them. Stamkos and Marchessault really need to step up. They've been juggling these lines a lot to see where they're going to really work well together. I'm going to look to see if Ryan O'Reilly and Josi will, we can get that 3 point prop parlay together for the Predators. So it would be Forsberg for the point, Ryan O'Reilly and Josi for the point. 2-1 for your money. It's coming in at plus 194. So that was the number I was forgetting. I would look at all three of those guys for a point. Now, if you think Stamkos gets a point tonight, it bumps it up to 3-1 to your money at plus 307. And I do think we can see Stamkos be able to come out strong. If you want to throw someone in from the LA Kings, I would throw Fiala coming in at minus 130 for his point. And then between Kempe and Kopitar, I'd look at Kopitar as well. So if you add those two guys, you've got a 5-leg point parlay at plus 966. So that was Forsberg, Josi, Stamkos, Riley, Fiala, and Kopitar. I do think the Kings will get a couple goals. So I'm counting on those assists. This game, I could see the Kings going up first and the Preds coming back and getting the win. So I think it's going to be a nice live betting opportunity as well in this one. Joe, you're going to parlay Edmonton, Nashville, and the Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs. It would be crazy to think that they wouldn't win versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tonight, right? 5 legs is so phenomenally hard to hit. I completely agree, Chris. And that is why I'm going to take the props out for any of the Kings players because it is the Predators I believe in. I totally believe in Forsberg, Josi, and Riley to be able to get that point tonight. That's coming in at plus 194. That is my favorite bet of this game. Looking at those guys for those points are on the top power play lines. And I do think the conversion's coming on the power play. So the 3 legs is where I'm going to go. But yes, $5 on the 5-legger at almost 10-1 to your money. It is worth a little sprinkle. So let's look at the next game here, you guys. We've got the New Jersey Devils. Now, the New Jersey Devils are coming off a game in which they're shut out by the Calgary Flames. Then the Calgary Flames play the Edmonton Oilers. Last night's game was crazy. Edmonton goes up by 2 goals. Calgary answers back and gets that game tied up. Zach Hyman, you guys, I've talked about Zach Hyman. He needs to stop being invisible for the Edmonton Oilers. He didn't need to show up versus my Calgary Flames. Like, come on. He scored that next goal, which then led to Calgary ended up pulling Dan Vladar out of goal. There was an empty netter for the Edmonton Oilers, and we know the end of the story. It was a 4-2 win for Edmonton. So Zach Hyman, come on. We wanted you to step up. I just didn't want you to step up last night. My mother was not in the building, so my mom's record of wins when the Flames are playing is still 1-0 when she is there. Looking at tonight's matchup, let's just pull up odds here. We got the New Jersey Devils at minus 130. They're playing the Alberta double-double. It's so hard for teams to win both of these games. But that being said, they did get shut out by Calgary. They should look to come out nice and strong. And Edmonton coming in at plus 108. Second night of a back-to-back after playing their arch rival, the Calgary Flames. Total sitting at 6.5. Interesting. The 6.5 is pick 'em on both sides at minus 110 sort of price. I do think this one has the possibility of a high-scoring first period, full game under. We know Edmonton's able to get off to those hot starts and then a lockdown, and the New Jersey Devils will want to do the same. These two teams also know that they can't get in a back and forth firing high octane game between each other because the offensive firepower on both sides is so strong. What leans me mainly to the under for the full game here is looking at goaltending. Jacob Markstrom, yes, he's 5-4-1 with a 2.62 goals against average and a 907 save percentage on the season. I look at him versus Edmonton, and at first glance, not great. 15, 17, and 2 against the Edmonton Oilers in his career. Remember, he played for Calgary, so he has so much time and experience in net versus these core players of the Edmonton Oilers. But in his last 2 games versus the Oilers, he stood on his freaking head. He was able to get one shutout and only allowed 1 goal in that last game as well. So he was able to allow only 1 goal on 48 shots on his net in the last 2 versus the Edmonton Oilers. Can he replicate that here? You know he absolutely wants to. That passion against Edmonton will come to play for Jacob Markstrom, even though he's now in a New Jersey Devils outfit. When we look at Calvin Pickard, I thought this could be a play against. Looking at the high-octane, high-flying offense here of the New Jersey Devils, but you look at him versus this team, he has had such a strong career versus them. He's only allowed 4 goals in those last 2 games versus the Devils, and that's been on 52 shots on his net. We look here at the Edmonton Oilers. This team is doing a better job than we've seen last season of locking down their opponent's ability to get those shots on goal. They are trying to play a stronger defensive game. They're holding opponents to 26.6 shots on net per game, 4th best overall in the league. Yes, their kill is the worst. If Edmonton is in the box, this team is going to struggle. They can't take those penalties. If they take those penalties, the New Jersey Devils could put up 8 goals on them. Like, that's what it feels like, right? If the penalties come, Edmonton is going to shoot themselves in the foot because the New Jersey Devils can score on the power play. That power play conversion, just under 29%, 5th best overall in the league. So for the Edmonton Oilers to keep us for this game to stay under, they have to stay out of that box tonight. They have to play defensive hockey. I don't think these teams want to get in that shootout. That being said, I could see the over 1.5 hitting in the first period and both teams scoring in that first period and then lockdown hockey for the rest. Even last night, we had a total of 6.5. We landed on 6 between the Calgary Flames and the Edmonton Oilers. So the Devils are going to look to get that bounce back. Again, those odds, the Devils minus 130. If you want to take the Devils on the puck line to win this 3-1, that's how I could see it playing out. The puck line laying 1.5 is coming in at plus 106. Now, looking at a player that might be able to hit Jacob Markstrom, I did look at Jeff Skinner. I like what he's been able to do so far with the Edmonton Oilers. He's really been stepping up, but in a low-scoring game at plus 285, I don't like. It's not enough value here for me because I think the goals are going to come at a premium tonight as long as these goaltenders can do what I expect, which is stand on their heads versus each other. So that makes the puck line a little difficult as well here for the New Jersey Devils. But I do think if the puck line covers, it's because empty net situation. Now, can we get this one to OT? I do think both games tonight have the possibility of going to overtime. I do think this one has a higher chance of going to overtime. This one coming in between the Oilers and the Devils, currently at plus 390. I just want to let you guys know the odds here for the Kings and the Predators. That one coming in at plus 340, you guys. I do think between both of these teams, we could see overtime here in this one. So Edmonton wins by 1. Antonio, best of luck. I am hoping that it's a good game between these two, a lower scoring game. That is for sure. Edmonton at home with an hour travel time back home. Yeah, so the New Jersey Devils have been in Calgary up to Edmonton. Edmonton's been down in Calgary. both of these teams. I'm not even looking at the travel up to Edmonton. I can drive to Edmonton in 3 hours. The flight is not 4 hours. The flight is probably like 45 minutes at most. So it's not a huge travel concern. Did they wear themselves out yesterday? They did get in a tight grind them out battle. I think the best way just to take is that under 6.5 in that again at -110. You guys, all the best in all of your bets today. Thank you so much for joining me here on Puck with Joe. I see close to 800 people watching right now. So I appreciate each and every one of you. If you can hit that like, hit that retweet button, and keep the show going each and every single day here live at noon Eastern, going over every single game on the hockey slate here on SportsGrid TV. I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys, all the best in all of your bets. Bye, you guys. Let's make some freaking money tonight. Stay tuned for my Cup of Joe and my Madden Quickie. That Madden Quickie, we swept it yesterday, you guys. I hope you ulted the Chargers. I told you the end of the pocket, ult the Chargers, but I took the Chargers, the Ravens, and one other favorite, Washington. That was the other favorite I took in the Madden Quickie. The favorites all cashed for us in that Madden Quickie yesterday. So stay tuned for today's Madden Quickie, and that will be on the SportsGrid app. Bye, you guys. Hit some anytime goals.